What is an abortion? An abortion is the optional termination of a human pregnancy, generally performed during the first 28 weeks of gestation. This may occur for a number of reasons, such as parents being unable to financially support a child, not being ready for a baby due to age or maturity, purely because they just don't want it, or as a result of medical concerns which can mean the mother or baby is under risk if the pregnancy is carried to full term, or the baby will have a lifelong disability where their quality of life will be poor. Many women feel that they are unable to afford a professional abortion of a pregnancy or that it is frowned upon by other individuals of society. This can lead to women performing self-induced terminations, such as coat hanger abortions. These unprofessional procedures can be severely detrimental to the mother's health by causing future issues later in life for when she may plan to become pregnant, along with around 70,000 deaths from unsafe abortions a year. Abortion was invented so that pregnant women who do not want to carry out their pregnancy full term due to their own individual situation have the option and choice to do so. In Western Australia and South Australia, the majority of abortions are carried out in women aged 20 to 24, and 95.4% of abortions in South Australia were elective. As women are most fertile under the age of 29, it is highly likely their pregnancies are due to failed contraceptions. It is estimated that there are around 65,000 abortions in Australia per year, and worldwide there are roughly 41 million abortions per year. Rules regarding abortion in Australia are regulated by the state and territory governments rather than the federal government. Although it is legal in some states like Victoria, South Australia, Tasmania, there are still certain time periods in which the procedure must be taken place. These time periods vary according to the state, decided by the government and doctors. For example, in Victoria, abortion is legal to be performed in the first 24 weeks of pregnancy, whereas few states like New South Wales and Queensland consider abortion a criminal offence. However, it is permitted in some cases, like if the mother's life is at risk. Scott Morrison, the Prime Minister of Australia, in one of his interviews said that abortion should not be carried out in the later weeks of pregnancy. Daniel Andrews, leader of the Victorian branch of the Labor Party, passed a bill in 2008 ensuring that a woman's consent provides lawful authority for an abortion up to 24 weeks gestation. After that, terminations would be unlawful unless doctors deemed continuing the pregnancy would pose a risk of harm to the woman. From religious points of view, every religion takes a strong position on abortion. They believe this issue encompasses profound issues of life and death. Buddhism considers abortion to be murder, as they believe that human life begins at the time of conception. Catholics strongly oppose abortion, as they believe that human life starts when fertilization of the female egg and male sperm occur. Hence, abortion is considered murder. Hindu texts state that abortion is worse of a sin than killing one's parents, killing a priest, and that a mother who aborts her child should have lost her caste. Most of the main religious groups are against abortion, describing it as a criminal action. However, they all permit abortion in certain cases, like if continuing with pregnancy can pose life danger to the mother's life. Safe access zones have been implemented legally by many governments where people entering an abortion clinic cannot be approached by protesters within certain distances of the clinic. This zone is present in Victoria and Tasmania. Human rights lawyer Adrian Walters fought an appeal against the convictions of John Graham and Kathleen Clubb, who handed out pamphlets within this safe access zone. However, due to the stress, fear and anxiety these actions caused by the protesters, their appeal was rejected. Walters stated that this outcome confirmed the importance of privacy, safety and equality in healthcare. A health professional's view on abortion reflects their professional identity and is therefore influenced by factors such as their past experiences, culture and religion. For example, in some religions like Catholicism, abortion is forbidden, and therefore a doctor who upholds these beliefs may be against performing an abortion or giving their patient information on how to terminate their pregnancy. A professional's refusal to complete a procedure is not illegal and is referred to as a conscious objection, which refers to an individual's refusal to perform their responsibility as a professional due to their personal beliefs. However, they should maintain a professional view on abortion and adhere to their state's, place of employment, and patients' rights and wishes. Every person has the right to make their own decisions regarding their own body, so why would anyone want to take away a woman's rights to decide what happens to theirs? Some argue on the side of the unborn child, in that they must have someone protecting their right, as they do not have the ability to speak for themselves. The issue of abortion also causes the problem of harm to arise, as those against abortion believe that harm is coming to the child through being terminated. However, as Australian abortions are only legally allowed to occur during weeks 0 to 24, the fetus will not have developed any of its senses to feel pain. But if a woman is unable to have an abortion and is forced to give birth to an unwanted child, it may cause harm to the child through being born into poverty or an unstable home, being unwanted, or having a disability. These unwanted children who can end up in foster care can experience their own harm of not being in a stable or permanent home for a period of their childhood, which can lead to them experiencing a higher chance of developing mental disorders. The absence of abortion may be beneficial to the child if they are born in suitable conditions with a stable home. Children being born also benefits families and people desiring to adopt, as well as the overall society of Australia benefiting through the increase in population, which increases the economy. On the opposite end of this, abortion can cause more harm than good, in that harm occurs to a mother if they are forced to give birth against their will or desire, as they can develop ill feelings of anxiety or depression, as well as some abortions being performed in the interest of the mother's or child's physical health. Therefore, allowing a woman to terminate her pregnancy allows no mental or physical harm to her. Justice is also involved in terms of an abortion, as it is just for a woman to have the right to decide to have a child or not. However, it can also be viewed as just for each fetus to have the right to be born and be carried to full term. Overall, there are positives and negatives for each woman in each case, as every circumstance is different. Therefore, individuals should withhold their judgment and harsh accusations towards something that really doesn't affect them. No one will ever unite on one outcome, because the truth is morals vary for each individual, and to ask someone to forego their own moral principles is unfair. However, to simply just make abortion illegal would be unjust to those who deem it acceptable. The laws which Victoria have placed on abortions are fairly ethical, as it considers both the mother and the child, as women are allowed the choice to abort their pregnancy before 24 weeks, as the fetus cannot feel pain at that stage, and if 2 doctors sign with their approval, an abortion can be carried out after 24 weeks if there are health risks associated with the pregnancy. This allows a woman the choice as to whether or not she is capable of having or caring for a child, but also allows for abortion if it is unsafe for the baby or mother to continue for full term. It is also illegal for any protest within 150 metres of an abortion clinic.
Their very presence, I think, is a form of intimidation and shaming of women and trying to stigmatise women for coming into our clinic.
Of course, those who oppose abortion will not find this an acceptable outcome. However, each individual has the right to what happens to their body. To simply prevent one from an abortion procedure can lead to unsafe techniques being undertaken and their lives being put at further risk. Those who do not condone the procedure do not have to have any involvement with those who have the procedure. However, these people should not be the reason of others not being able to have autonomy over their own body.
If you don't agree with abortion, don't have one. No one's going to make you.